好，各位同学晚安。今天晚上轻松一点，因为下午已经花了1个多小时解答了疑难杂症的问题，应该蛮丰富的今天的量。晚上我们就轻松一点，赶一下进度，把《The Catcher in the Rye》的第14章用朗读的方式念个几页，补进度，然后下个单元我们再解签内容。那我就随性先念，如果有念得不好的地方。吐槽的地方，我们等到正音的时候再来做修正，再来做实作的练习，这样子。好，14章蛮快的，这种就是广读的它的效果是非常惊人的。好，我就直接开始。After old Sonny was gone, I sat in a chair for a while.And smoked a couple of cigarettes. It was getting daylight outside. Boy, I felt miserable. I felt so depressed. You can't imagine. What I did, I started talking, sort of out loud, to Allie. I do that sometimes when I get very depressed. I kept telling him to go home and get his bike and meet me in front of Bobby Fallon's house.Bobby Fallon used to live quite near us in Maine. This is years ago. Anyway, what happened was, one day Bobby and I were going over to Lake Sedabego. 应该是 Sedabego。这因为地名蛮怪，我这一句重来一次好了。Anyway, what happened was one day.Bobby and I were going over to Lake Sedabego on our bikes. We were going to take our lunches and all, and our BB guns. We were kids and all, and we thought we could shoot something with our BB guns. Anyway, Allie heard us talking about it, and he wanted to go, and I wouldn't let him. I told him he was a child, so once in a while, now,When I get very depressed, I kept saying to him, okay, go home and get your bike and meet me in front of Bobby's house. Hurry up. It wasn't that I didn't used to take him with me when I went somewhere. I did. But that one day I didn't. He didn't get sore about it. He never got sore about anything. But I keep thinking about it anyway when I get very depressed. Finally, though, I got undressed.And got in bed. I felt like praying or something when I was in bed. But I couldn't do it. I can't always pray when I feel like it. In the first place, I'm sort of an atheist. I like Jesus and all, but I don't care too much for most of the other stuff in the Bible. Take the disciples, for instance. They annoyed the hell out of me. If you want to know the truth, they were all right after Jesus.was dead and all. But while he was alive, they were about as much use to him as a hole in the head. All they did was keep letting him down. I like almost anybody in the Bible better than the disciples. If you want to know the truth, the guy I like best in the Bible next to Jesus was that lunatic and all that lived in the tombs and kept cutting himself with stones.I like him 10 times as much as the disciples. That poor bastard. I used to get in quite a few arguments about it when I was in a Houghton school with this boy that lived down the corridor, Arthur Childs. Old Childs was a Quaker and all, and he read the Bible all the time. He was a very nice kid, and I liked him, but I could never say eye to eye with him on a lot of stuff in the Bible.Especially the disciples. He kept telling me if I didn't like the disciples, then I didn't like Jesus and all. He said that because Jesus picked the disciples, you were supposed to like them. I said I knew he picked them, but that he picked them at random. I said he didn't have time to go around analyzing everybody. I said I wasn't blaming Jesus or anything. It wasn't his fault that he didn't have any time.I remember I asked old Childs if he saw Judas, the one that betrayed Jesus and all. went to hell after he committed suicide? Charles said, certainly. That's exactly what I disagree with him. I said, I bet $1,000 that Jesus never sent old Judas to hell. I still would, too. If I had $1,000, I think any one of the disciples would have sent into hell and all. And fast, too. But I'll bet anything. Jesus didn't do it. Old Charles said, the trouble with me was that I didn't go to church or anything. He was right about that, in a way. I don't. In the first place, my parents are different religions. And all the children in our family are atheists. If you want to know the truth, I can't even stand ministers. The ones they've had at every school I've gone to, they all have these Holy Joe voices when they start giving their sermons. God, I hate that. I don't see why the hell they can't talk in their natural voice. They sound so phony when they talk. Anyway, when I was in bed, I couldn't pray words down. Every time I got started, I kept picturing old Sonny calling me a crumb bomb. Finally, I sat up in bed and smoked another cigarette. It tastes lousy. I must have smoked around 2 packs since I left Pensy. All of a sudden, when I was laying there smoking, somebody knocked on the door. I kept hoping it wasn't my door they were knocking on, but I knew damn well it was. I don't know how I knew, but I knew who it was, too. I'm psychic. 好，看一下啊，到130页，我看分量够不够？1页、2页、3页，哦，3页而已，还可以再念个2页。Who's there? I said. I was pretty scared. I'm very yellow about those things. They just knocked again, though, louder. Finally, I got out of bed with just my pajamas on and opened the door. I didn't even have to turn the light on in the room because it was already daylight. Old Sonny and Morris, the pimpy elevator guy, was standing there. What's the matter? What do you want? I said. Boy, my voice was shaking like hell. Nothing much, old Morris said. Just $5. He did all the talking for the two of them. Old Sonny just stood there next to him, with her mouth open and all. I paid her already. I gave her $5, asked her. I said, boy, was my voice shaking? It's $10, Chief. I told you that. $10 for a stroll, $15 till noon. I told you that. You did not tell me that. You said $5 a stroll. You said $15 till noon, all right. But I distinctly heard you. Open up, Chief. What for? I said. God, my old heart was damn near beating me out of the room. I wish I was dressed, at least. It's terrible to be just in your pajamas when something like that happens. Let's go, Chief, old Morris said. Then he gave me a big shove with his crummy hand. I damn near fell over on my can. He was a huge son of a bitch. The next thing I knew, he and old Sonny were both in the room. They acted like they owned the damn place. Old Sonny sat down on the windowsill. Old Morris sat down in a big chair and loosened his collar and all. He wearing this elevator operator's uniform. Boy, was I nervous. All right, Chief. Let's have it. I got to get back to work. I told you about 10 times I don't owe you a cent. I already gave her the 5. Cut the crap now. Let's have it. Why should I give her another $5? I said. My voice was cracking all over the place. You're trying to chisel me. Old Morris unbuttoned his whole uniform coat. All he had on underneath was a phony shirt collar. But no shirt or anything. He had a big, fat, hairy stomach. Nobody's trying to chisel anybody. He said, let's have it, Chief. No. When I said that, he got up from his chair and started walking towards me and all. He looked like he was very, very tired or very, very bored. God, was I scared? I sort of had my arms folded, I remember. It wouldn't have been so bad, I don't think. If I hadn't had just my goddamn pajamas on, that's heavy, Chief. He came right up to where I was standing. That's all he could say. That's heavy, Chief. He was a real moron. No. Chief, you're gonna force me in a running? In a roughing? You up a little bit? I don't want to do it, but that's the way it looks, he said. You owe us $5.好，到133页，1、2、3、4、5，哦，5页。那这个章节蛮好的，延续了前面那一章。他不想发生的事情，不愿意面对的事情发生了。哦，就是那个拉皮条的跟那个厨妓回过头来找他了，这是一种敲诈哦，跟他再多要5块钱。后面怎么发展要看 Holden 有没有大爆发胆量回来了，这样子，或是其他的意外的事情出来解救他了。那这个情节的前面，这是延伸前面的章节尾巴。他上床睡觉睡不着，但是呢，他想要祷告，但是又借由这个祷告想到一些他信仰的问题，因为他是无神论。他很仔细的看了圣经里面有关耶稣门徒还有里面一些好像是马可第5章里面有一个在墓园里面有一个疯子被耶稣治愈的那个故事，它里面讲的很详细，其实有一点逻辑在里面这样子。我想这本书在当年会被禁，除了里面有一些信写实性的东西，信可能还有一些无神论的东西在里面，所以当年会被禁。但是它之后会变成美国一个很经典、几乎高中生要必读的，开书单一定要开的那个经典小说，也在这个地方。它有趣在这里，所以同学可以，我因为还没有解签，所以我里面有些字，说实话我也不知道怎么念啊，我不知道，因为那个地名，我就自己先按照我的意思念。那我们后面解签再来仔细看这一段，非常有趣，这样子。好。我们今天就不多耽误时间晚上我们解个签，没有解签啦，我刚刚只是用我自己念完之后有感而发一点感想。那我今天把它导读朗读完，我们下回再来仔细的去解签里面的内容。好，感谢同学，我们今天就。